So I don't know where I've been. I had no idea that this Fan First Tuesday was happening today. I just saw a bunch of news about it, so I'm glad that I was checking my social media feed. So let's talk about Fan First Tuesday. Hello everybody, my name is Robbie, welcome back, you're watching Geek Level Asian, and if you've watched this channel before, you know that I do reviews of the Fan First Fridays. They're usually on Fridays, but they came early in the week. We got some Power Rangers news, announcements, releases, and we're going to talk about them today. I'll give you my opinions and my thoughts. Many of the things were already announced, and we've seen leaks of them already. I never understand, I guess they officially, their marketing team, wants to officially announce the things, but sometimes, they've just been online for so long, and I'm like, well, that's not really new. And then sometimes things just kind of, sneak their way into the stores. I'm looking at you, Dino Charge Black. So before we dive into the nitty-gritty, if you wouldn't mind, if you like Power Rangers and Super Sentai and Tokusatsu, and you want to keep up with these videos, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Helps me, A, and B, it helps push this video to other Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Tokusatsu fans just like you. And just to mention, I normally, comb through the video, pretty granularly, so if I miss anything, please let me know in the comments. But I would say let's get started with the Lord Drakkon Lightning Collection helmet. Now, this thing would have been super popular in 2018 at Power Morphicon when everyone was cosplaying as Lord Drakkon. This would have been super helpful because there weren't a lot of cosplay creators who were, I guess you can say they didn't have the mold, or they just weren't used to making Drakkon. There were a few that came out and obviously did that, but it just wasn't a common helmet at that time, so this would have been super helpful during that period. The other thing is they put in another, voice-changing vocal box like they did in the Lord Zed helmet, which, honestly, I don't hate that. I think that's actually pretty neat, especially if you're a little kid, right? I don't need that because I can manipulate my voice as an adult. But if you're a little kid, that's a pretty cool thing. Now, do I want that on my shelves? Probably not. I don't like Drakkon that much. I did when the comics came out. I was really into that. A whole storyline of Shattered Grid, loved it, but I don't know, the character kind of just fell off for me because he was only really around specifically for that particular story. Don't get me wrong, Drakkon still exists in the comics, but that was his big thing. Moving on, now this is something that we did see. It has been on social media for quite a while, and it's the 2-pack of Trini as the Red Ranger and Jason as the Yellow Ranger, and it's about their romance in the Boom Studios Go-Go Power Rangers comics. You've probably seen those covers and that artwork for years now. I think it's been out for years. But they came out with the 2-pack, so you get the Trini with the female Red Ranger physique, and you get the Jason with the male Yellow Ranger physique. And I might have skipped through this, but I read this more online. Some of the people online who were basically doing a lot more research than I do when looking at these photos noticed that the joints and around the hips might actually be different for these figures to kind of give you better posability. If you're one of those people and you do know this for a fact, please leave it in the comments because I really don't know. Do I need this? Do I want this? No, I don't really want this particular 2-pack. I stopped collecting the Lightning Collection figures because of the paint applications. I just think they don't really look good. And to be honest, I have probably all of the figures I'll ever need when it comes to SH Figuarts. And what I will say, though, I do like a lot of the monsters and the villains that they're coming out with. I think that those look pretty awesome. I really like Pudgy Pig. I like Eye Guy. I think Piranha's head looks really good. Now, if I was collecting the Lightning Collection figures, these might be some of the ones I would have bought, and those are the Ninja figures. I always call them Ninjetti because I think of the movie, but I know in the show they were Ninja. And what I like about these are the head sculpts are getting better, guys. I will be the first to say it. I know I hate on the portraits quite a bit. These look pretty good. This is probably the best Rocky head we've ever gotten. We've seen some really bad ones. I think they really did his coif very good. They did his hair right. I think this new portrait for Kat looks more like her than that first one, which was just kind of like blonde white lady. Now, Aisha's, I don't think this one looks as good as maybe one of the previous ones, but it doesn't look bad. Now, would it be cool to have the ninja versions of the Rangers on my shelves? Absolutely, yes. I'm not really as into those as just regular, suited up Rangers. But again, Hasbro, I would love civilian Rangers. If you did Lightning Collection civilian Rangers, I would highly consider coming back. especially with a Bulk and Skull 2-pack. Paul Schreier and Jason Narvi deserve it as some of the longest lasting characters that have ever been part of the Power Rangers franchise at all. There was one moment where they were advertising, and again, we've seen this online before, but it's the Red Ranger mask that's got like the little body on it, and it's called the Red Ranger Mask Buddy. Listen, I would probably never get that, but now that I'm on TikTok, there are certain skits that I think would be kind of fun. I'm not gonna get it. Now, moving on, this is one of the things that I think most people watching this video are probably the most excited about, and that is because of the scarcity of the Bandai version, and that is the Power Sword. But let's talk about that for 1 second. The Bandai Power Sword, in general, was legitimately beautiful. It looked exactly like the show, like as close as it could get. Obviously, the blade itself was a little bit thicker than a real blade would be because it's plastic and it's a toy. The other thing that I didn't love about it was how bendable the blade was. Like, if you were swinging it, the thing would be like flopping around. But in regard to just it sitting on the shelf, the engravings on the blade were like exact. The hilt looked really good. It did have really good sound effects. It was just a beautiful piece. This particular Power Sword, I can't really put my finger on it. And this is not me hating on the weapons, because if you've watched my Dragon Dagger video, I liked the Dragon Dagger as you know, as many liberties that they took with the design. I liked the Dragon Dagger. This looks a little off. I don't know what it is. It looks good, don't get me wrong. It looks good when you're just looking at it, but like as I look closer, like at the blade looks very different. The engravings are very different, and I don't know what Hasbro, I don't know what their mindset is. I feel like almost they say, how much can we change this? How different can we make this and still make it look like the same thing? I almost feel like that they think like that. The hilt, I don't know what it is. Again, I don't know if it like looks thick or if the dimensions are just a little off, but it looks a little strange to me. But now here's the thing that I really do like about this one, and it has to do with the glow effect. So there's one episode in Super Sentai and in Power Rangers while Tommy and Jason or Barai and Geki are fighting, where the Red Ranger uses his hand to rub down the blade. I don't think it's actually supposed to be a rub. I think it's supposed to be like a power glide across the blade, and his blade turns red, and then he like shoots that energy to the Green Ranger and hits him with it. That was added to this particular Power Sword, and if it was by coincidence, then that's an incredible coincidence, but I think it was on purpose, and I think that that is a very, very cool addition if you know the show. The sound effects are what you would expect. One button like turns it on, the other one plays the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme, and they emphasize that it plays the full song. What I don't remember in the video is if it has the swing effects, the swooshes. I don't know if it has those. Actually, I might have to go and double check that. I don't think it does. So now, last but not least, the final thing that they talked about and they gave us a sneak peek on, and that is the Ascension Project Dragon Zord. So if you're not familiar with the Ascension Project, basically what they're doing is they're doing a Lightning Collection like Zord concept where they're spending a lot of time and, you know, thankfully and, you know, fortunately for us, on the Zords and making sure that they pay attention to a lot of the details. And what I do like about the Ascension Project is they are paying attention to like actual ornamentation and designs on the Zords. So we're not getting like in the 90s, we got like those like lightning stickers. If you're familiar with the Legacy Zords and the, I don't know what you would call all of them, but like the Sola Chigokin and all of those, this is the Hasbro version of those. So now back to the Dragon Zord. The Dragon Zord looks good. It doesn't look bad. Something that I like that they're doing in these Zords is in the cockpit, they're giving you a little Tommy that you can put in the cockpit. It comes with two of them in different poses. They look like little green army men, actually. The Dragon Zord comes with different hands, both for when he's a dragon, and he's got like these hands, and also when he's Dragon Zord in battle mode, which they also showed. So if you're not familiar with Dragon Zord in battle mode, which you probably should be, that's the Dragon Zord when he's mixed with the Saber-Tooth Tiger and the Triceratops, and what else is on that one? Oh, the Mastodon arms. So they showed that as well. They talked about the price point a little bit. Obviously, Dragon Zord is going to be a little bit cheaper than the Megazord. It usually is. Now, this leads me to believe that the next thing that they're going to come out with is Titanus. That would naturally be, you know, the thing that makes the most sense. So that, in a nutshell, was Hasbro Fan First Tuesday. I guess they're gonna do just every day of the week. Many of these things are already up for pre-order. I'll leave the links down in the description so you can grab them. And if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you, A, number one. And B, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. You could also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. That's where I am the most. And listen, everybody, may the power protect you.